if you love the atmospheric, melancholy sounds of Band of Horses, you'll love Kit Fox. Check them out. Welcome to Top 10 Music. Over the last 10 years, Band of Horses has released 5 full-length albums spanning several genres, dipping into folk rock, indie rock, pop rock, and sometimes full-blown country, culminating with this year's Why Are You OK? Because they're one of the West Coast's most beloved rock groups, we've taken a look through the last decade of their discography to bring you our top 10 Band of Horses songs. You ready? Here we go. Number 10, Slow Cruel Hands of Time. On the band's divisive 4th album, Mirage Rock, much of their louder and poppier tendencies were traded in for hushed southern folk ballads. The band mostly tracked the record live, giving it an organic, homegrown feel, as if you're actually present for their humming folk tales, rocking on a backwoods porch at twilight. Slow Cruel Hands of Time is the pinnacle of Mirage Rock, where lead singer Ben Bridwell and his companions nostalgically reflect over sweet string plucks and perfect harmonies. Number 9, Lying Under Oak. Because Why Are You OK? Sounded so different from Mirage Rock when it dropped earlier this year, it was hard to know which of the many slow-burning indie rock tracks to focus on and connect to. Lying Under Oak proves an immediate standout. It explores the conflicting desires to settle down and wander. The production sounds equally dreamy as Ben Bridwell's chorus lines reverberate with a soft echo. Number 8, Laredo. Bearing a striking resemblance to the chord progression found in Everything All the Time's Weed Party, Laredo transforms that hedonistic anthem into a rollicking road trip song. It bends the end of the choruses into a beautiful resolution totally absent on Weed Party. The lyrics deal with a to be or not to be dilemma. Should you return to old mistakes back home or remain lonely in a foreign place? It's a beautiful song. Number 7, Dilly. One of Band of Horses' only ventures into working with synthesizer, Dilly succeeds wildly as a bouncy AM radio pop gem. The hushed call and answer verses leading up to a vocal breakdown is extraordinarily cathartic, despite the lyrics being slightly despondent. There's nothing like drowning your sorrows in several tall ones. Number 6, On My Way Back Home. The magnificence of the sparkling song lies in the sum of its moving parts. It begins with simple reverb strumming until a soft chorus of ooze materializes, ushering in a bass, a steady rhythm on a drum kit, and subtle synths. All the instruments humbly bow to Bridwell's vocals until the 45-second mark when suddenly all the parts escalate and explode into the last instrumental chorus. Like most of the other tracks on 2010's Infinite Arms, this song revolves around the concept of wandering, this time homeward. Despite the great lyrics, On My Way Back Home truly shines because of its production. Number 5, for Annabelle. The best song from Infinite Arms comes from a deep cut late in the album that calls for a nostalgic clarity of what's good and simple. If most of the album is indebted to volatile joys of travel and adventure, for Annabelle roots the music in the lasting joy Bridwell has been longing for all along. The track is named after Bridwell's then unborn daughter, singing with the optimistic clairvoyance that only a soon-to-be dad can muster. Hearing the song, you can almost see him playing with his daughter in front of an eternal sunset painted by long, slow guitars. Number 4, Detlef Schrempf. While this song is in the running for one of Band of Horses' most heartbreaking ballads, the name of the track feels jocular, name-checking the well-known basketball player Detlef Schrempf, who, almost a decade previous, left the Horses' hometown team of the Seattle Supersonics for the team's biggest rival, the Portland Trail Blazers. Although the comparison of Schrempf leaving a basketball team with a lover leaving may seem silly to non-sports fans, the emotion is so real in Bridwell's singing. So much so that we're not sure whether to laugh or cry when he weeps, "My eyes can't look at you any other way," as quiet guitars mourn reverently around him. Number 3, I Go to the Barn Because I Like the. Every lyric in this song is moving. Despite being so specific in detail, you can't help but relate to the meek opening lines. I'd like to think I'm the mess you'd wear with pride, Bridwell sings over a sparse guitar waltz, but by the second half of the song, gears shift and the song suddenly becomes 4/4, strumming in time with his love walking down the stairs to meet him in his worn-out suit and tie. The prom date scene would be cliché if it weren't so achingly true. Before she joins him, he feels reduced to what he's wearing. Afterwards, he shines. Number 2, The Funeral. Perhaps the most well-known Band of Horses song, The Funeral falls short of the number 1 spot, if only for how menacing and cynical it can sometimes sound. But as explored here lyrically, perhaps the only way to travel unfettered through life is to always be ready for the funeral. Taking a step back from being completely engrossed in the nuances of the song, the casual listener can enjoy The Funeral for its alternating melancholy, violent rock strums, and its black humor wordplay. Good luck remaining a casual listener though. Part of what makes this song so iconic is how easily it can draw you in. Number 1 on our list is No One's Gonna Love You. What sets this song apart from every Band of Horses song is the attitude of Bridwell's narration. He crafts a song that seems to transform in front of us. Rather than resolving to fall apart, the narrator comes up behind his callous lover and puts his arms around her. Where the misleading title could be read as malicious, it's actually an abbreviation of Bridwell's true feelings. No one's gonna love you, he starts, more than I do. This song is the quintessential Band of Horses song, not because it features unreal idealism or jaded pessimism, but because it understands the realism of a relationship. Bad things happen, but things can get better, as long as you strive for anything to make the one you love smile. There you have it, our top 10 Band of Horses songs. Agree? Disagree? What's your favorite Band of Horses song? Let us know in the comments and subscribe for future lists. Also, make sure to check out our top 10 Noah and the Whale songs. Thanks for watching.